Besides sending the police, you might want to send an ambulance or a hearse.
Hello, Billy Ho here. Welcome to the 2023 preview and pick show for DraftKings Waste Management Phoenix Open. This is the start of the season for a lot of people, and for me too. I'm hugely excited for this week. My early research, my head is spinning. I mean, we got a 132 player field, and I think 37 of the top 50 players in the world, including all the big names, are going to be here fighting for this $20 million prize pool and 3.6 million to the winner, which is I think at least double what it was last year. So insane. All right, before we get started, five things I would ask of you kindly. Number one is hit that subscribe button. Number two, hit the like, smash it, whatever you want to do to it, molest it. Uh, Three, check out the preview article. It's completely free. It'll be in the description. Number four, DraftKings contest, also in the description when that comes out, which will be probably Monday. And number five, check out the Discord. The link is in the description. I'll post it in the comments. But join on in. Somebody asked about it last week, but I never saw any new members. Don't be afraid to join in and just jump right in on the conversation because the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. And everybody counts or nobody counts. It's my Harry Bosch rule. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look at the course a little bit and go over some key stats. And I have a top 16 that I'm going to just kind of whip through. And that will be a part of the article as well. So let's go. All righty then. TPC Scottsdale, a beautiful desert style course, playing at approximately 7,261 yards, par 71. It'll have the iconic 16th stadium green, which you're looking at now, and also followed that by a Tom Weiskopf special, the designer of this golf course, who is loves those drivable par fours. So the water is in play on 17. So it is one that everybody pretty much goes for, and they all either you can still make par even if you knock it into the water. So that's always good. Eagle, birdie, So what you got to do on this course is get down like that. Generous Bermuda fairways, 33 yards wide, some ryegrass. Tiff Eagle Bermuda greens are 7,000 square feet on average. They're pretty big. They're overseeded with POA and rye. I'm gonna probably update my article with how the winter has affected that because sometimes the Bermuda's dormant longer than it should be, and sometimes it lasts. The overseeding is more one way or the other. So after we go through all that, we are going to look into some key stats. So let's take a look at that. Okay, and this is just a little section of my article here, and I'll take you back up top just to kind of show you. At the top, you can click the link to subscribe now to the YouTube channel. Click the link to follow me on Twitter, and I'll have the preview show and the DraftKings show on here once they come out. The contest will be here, and so this is just kind of a little description on what I just covered. TPC Scottsdale. And some stats are, I kind of broke it down into two different ones, model stats and scoring stats. Scoring stats, these are ones you always have to sprinkle in every week because we're playing DraftKings DFS, and it is DraftKings scoring or fantasy scoring at whatever site you're playing. Birdie or better. Opportunities, you need opportunities, right? So, and basically the model stats are like this: strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained off the tee all day, every day, distance, and strokes gained approach anywhere from 75 to 175. So it can be, the big hitters and the ball strikers are what we're looking for. Greens gained, and they are 7,000 square feet, so you're going to see a higher percentage of that. Par four scoring, obviously, par five scoring. You must attack these par fives and take advantage of 17. That's kind of a fifth par five in a way because you just drive it right up, chip and putt, and move on, and just avoid that left. That's all you have to do. People try to hit draws and shit into 17, and you're just flirting with disaster. Why don't you? You can hit it into the freaking stands on 17 and take your free drop and then chip and putt and make your birdie. Just say it. I don't know if that's considered cheating or bad form, but I've seen guys do it. They just blast it as far right as they can go, and they just take their drop next to the green. I digress. Strokes gained around the green are pretty important because of the par fives and everything, and I've preached on that before because not everybody knocks it on into every time. You got to scramble. Not everybody hits every green. You got to scramble. Par threes are interesting. So a little around the green game action, desert course. So I don't have it listed here, but you might want to toss in a little bit of sand saves action. And with the larger greens, when they get over 7,000 feet, I always have three putt avoidance. These greens are a bit easier to putt on than most Bermuda TIFF. So they run a little bit, I guess maybe faster than the guys are used to, 12 to 12 and a half on the stimp. So big hitters, keep it in play off the tee, attack the par fives, steady your nerves on 16. There are so many players to parse out here. It is really ridiculous. We'll take a look at the cheat sheet over on Rick Run Good. Shout out to him. And you can see it's just basically a murderer's row of every great player on the PGA Tour. I mean, we finally get to see Rory, which is nice to see. So the contenders I've got listed. I mean, if you don't want to put them in any order, the pricing's not out yet. But Scotty Scheffler, last year's winner, I'll start with him. He won in the playoff over Patrick Cantlay. He hasn't won a golf tournament since that Masters win last year in 2022. TPC Scottsdale is a great fit for him because he can just, this is a course he can gain 4 to 5 strokes off the tee. And he actually won this tournament last year, losing a stroke or two on approach. So the round the green game got it done for him. He round the green and putting. He chipped in. He did a lot of amazing stuff around the greens, and you can see by his recent form. Where's he at down here? He's getting it done down here. Everything in the green, top 10s, 11s, and whatnot. So definitely a threat to win. Rory McIlroy has a T13 in 2021, and his only really appearance that I saw dating back. He's been around a while, but he gained 3.6 off the tee there. So, and he's been over 5 strokes off the tee in his recent form in all these tournaments that they're not listed here, but the DP World Tour tournaments that he's been tearing up. He just won in Dubai about a week or so ago. His last 5 events, he's gained 7 to 10 with the ball striking. The putter has been fire, which is usually kind of his bugaboo sometimes. He just burns the edges on these birdie putts. So if he starts to make birdie putts, he's going to be an absolute threat to win. And pricing is going to dictate a lot of ownership. I don't know where pricing is going to fall. This is the first field we've run into this before. So they almost have to start with all these players at 12, at 11 and change at least. You cannot start Rory McIlroy at 10-8 and then start counting down or some shit like that. I don't see how they can pull that off. But next guy up, Jon Rahm. And I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. If you've followed golf and you have a pulse, he's got 2 wins on the year already. His around the green let him down like he does in most tourneys, but the around the green game fell apart on him Sunday at the Amex. Or I mean, not Amex. I'm sorry, Torrey Pines. So you could just jot down 90 or more DK points for him this week, as long as around the green game's there. His putter's been pretty solid, although he did start to lose that a little bit with the frustrations. So his finishes at Waste Management are as consistent as you can get. I mean, you can take a look over here. He's 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th. I don't see anything worse than that. He's practically the best player in the world right now. So, minding the short game. Anyway, Patrick Cantlay, he just waltzed in here last year and almost won the damn thing. Obviously, we all know he's an elite ball striker. So we're not really worried about him. His around the green game is sharp as well. I actually kind of prefer Cantlay on bent greens, but the way these greens putt, like I said, they were a little easier. I believe he gained 5.4 strokes here last year on the greens. So they're fine. He's fine. He's another contender. It's going to be who brings their game this week. Be honest with you, any one of these guys can win this golf tournament. The next one I wanted to talk about was Xander Schauffele. Strokes gained off the tee, monster every year, back to back. He's got a third and a second place finish. He was awesome at Farmers. The back issues behind him, 5.7 with the ball striking. If he spikes with the putter like he did in 2021, he's going to be in the final few groups. So no problem there. I had to throw in a course horse, and you don't necessarily need to be like a course horse here. You can come in like Patrick Cantlay did last year and almost win the thing. So people have come in and spiked and gotten top fives before, but course history is always a little bit important. So Hideki Matsuyama, obviously the course horse, back-to-back wins in 2016-17, along with multiple top finishes. Until last year, until last year's T8, he didn't fare very well because he finished T42 the year before. So he had kind of faltered a bit with the old course horse narrative there, but he might be back in the game this time around. He got really red hot at the Farmers over the weekend to crack the top 10 there. So he's in play. And he might get squeezed out on the ownership. I don't know where he'll fall. He's got to be in the nines, low nines. He might even be in the eights. I really can't speculate on these prices because this is uncharted territory. So next guy I wanted to talk about was Colin Morikawa, it's going to be too hard to sift through where these guys are. I'll show you the article, and here's my guys if you want to see his face. Colin Morikawa, T25 in his only appearance in 2020, crushes the ball striking out the ass. The putter was his undoing. He lost 4 on the greens. That's the only thing that worries me is on the greens. I don't even think around the green he's going to worry me that much. But the guy can spike 6+6 or -6 on the greens. I also kind of like him on a little bit better on slower greens, which these aren't. And I also like him a little bit better on bent greens. So that said, I wouldn't mind having him as a core play if you can get him at lower ownership. Now, Matt Fitzpatrick, he had a bit of a meltdown in that weather, and I don't know. You almost have to toss this AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am out. They really let things get out of hand. They should have either just let it go and let everybody suffer yesterday, or I don't know what they could have done, but they basically called it off after the wind was terrible for about 3 holes. And depending on what hole you were on, a couple of guys made double bogeys and dropped like rocks, dropped out of the cut line. I haven't checked it recently, but Matt Fitzpatrick was one that suffered. He went all the way to 7 over, I think, and he was out of the cut. So a bunch of people withdrew. Total shit show there. So I hate that. But Fitzy, he added distance, and the accuracy is still pretty much there. 15th in total driving last time I looked. First overall in total strokes gained. I love him on Bermuda grass. He has all the tools. He can gain strokes off the tee now, so I'm not worried about that. So he's definitely in there as well. JT, Justin Thomas, I have to consider him on talent alone. I don't know what happened. Well, I know exactly what happened to him at the Farmers is he just completely lost the driver. He was hitting it left. He was hitting it right. He was spraying it all over the golf course. And on that course, in that rough, you can go from competitive 4 under to +2. I think I forget where he finished, but not a very good look for old JT. Obviously, his woes on the greens, putting as well. He has good results. If I can maybe take a look at him right quick here. Don't know where he's going to fall, but he's had some top 10. So like I said, it's going to be hard to go looking for guys since there's no order with the pricing yet. The next guy, Max Homa, coming off the win at Farmers, where he gained an amazing 8 strokes on approach. I feel like he can return from that week off and be refreshed and ready to run it back with a top-notch performance. He's got some really good finishes here, and I'm not afraid to roll the dice on him again. Maybe people will be off of him. It's not like it's the following week that he won. He took a week off, so maybe he won't be that noticed with the powerhouse field. And we are no longer in the West Coast Cali comfort zone. So, but I thought he did a good job shedding that moniker last year, winning the Wells Fargo. They had moved it over to that Avenel course. He won in the rain and bad weather and everything else. So he can win in places other than California. Trust me. Tom Kim, similar mold as the elite ball striker who can spike putting. He also can lose bunches putting, but he's already won at Shriners, which is a desert track. So I look for him to eat up on this place and get down. So he's looking good for me. This is the back half of my list. So Tom Kim is in there as long as he can sink some putts. There's nothing there to scare me away from playing him. My man Sung J M is in a similar boat. He eats par fives for breakfast, favors Bermuda grass. I don't need much else from that. Gained 7 on approach at Farmers. And then a couple of guys I want to just run through right quick. Tony Finau and Victor Hovland. Hovland is 0 for 2 in cuts made here. He hasn't fared very well, but he's just such a great talent and ball striker. I don't see how that as long as he gets the putting game in order, that he won't do well on a course like this where he can gain a bunch of strokes and dial in the greens. So I'm okay with him. Finau's in the same boat. He really has a lot of missed cuts, but he also has a couple of real high finishes. So, you would think he'd be able to gain the ball striking, kill it off the tee. Around the green and putting is going to be his problem, but he did gain in both of those categories when he got that second place finish in 2020. So he's along the same mold as Rom Light. He hits that power fade off the tee, short, compact swing, keeps it in play, attacks par fives. These last 2 guys are new shooters. Sahith Theegala I had to include here because he almost won except for finding the water on 17, ruined his week. So he's matured, I think, since that year ago, and he's going to be able to position himself once again. Although this field is 100 times tougher than he faced last time around, I still think he's played in enough big field events where he'll be fine. Cam Young, love it. I almost can't even wait to click his name this week. He may lead the field in strokes gained off the tee this week. He gained 5.7 strokes in 2022 when he finished T26 here. The 4 strokes he gained on the Stadium West course at Amex is very encouraging. So, he can play position golf when he needs to. He can hit the required shot. He hits irons off the tee. He's very long in all categories. I think he can, as long as the putter is there for him, I don't see any problem with him competing. And keep an eye out. I'm going to publish this article. These are just kind of the top 16. I just did it in honor of the 16th hole. And plus, I needed to throw in Victor Hovland, talent alone. I was like, I can't leave this guy out. He's top 10 in the world. So we got 16 guys in here so far. What I'll probably try to do is include more lower priced players once pricing comes out. And that's going to do it this week. Like I said, I'll try to include more players in the article. I'm going to post all this on Twitter, post it all on Instagram. So give me a follow at Billy Ho Sports on Twitter. And until the next time, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.